Welcome back to another Gilmedia podcast, where you can learn all about the latest news and developments. Our podcast is dedicated to educating, enlightening, and exploring. Never underestimate the power of knowledge and information. Listen on to learn more. Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Gilmedia podcast. Thank you for joining us today as we're going to be talking about 6 tips to ensure e-commerce website success. The world of e-commerce is progressing at an exponential rate, and the only outcome that matters to anyone anymore is convenience. In business, everything once conducted in the physical realm is rapidly shifting over to the virtual one. Why? Well, because it saves time and money. No more commutes or wait times to receive a response. Everything is done exactly when you want it done. And this is precisely why businesses are moving over to the e-commerce platform. Not only does it lower costs, it allows you to sell internationally and gives you the opportunity to retarget and create a personalized customer experience. But creating an e-commerce website does not ensure success. Luckily, we have 6 tips to help you on your way. Our first tip is, number 1, create a brand. When you create a business, you must outline your mission, vision, and goals. This helps you determine who you are, what you do, and why you do what you do. Once you have that figured out, the rest falls into place. From the theme of your website to the content you post, establishing your brand helps you stay competitive. It also allows your target audience to take notice and hopefully remember you. In fact, unclear brands and brands that deviate from their message suffer in the long run. For example, both Tim Hortons and Starbucks are in the same industry, but they target 2 entirely different audiences. Starbucks is seen to be more upscale, pricey, and offers a more personalized experience. For example, their coffee blends in writing the name on a coffee cup. Tim Hortons, on the other hand, is a cheaper alternative with a quicker turnaround. If Starbucks premium quality declined, or if Tim Hortons raised their prices, there will be an immediate uproar from customers and definite distrust on both companies' branding. An e-commerce example for a similar situation would have been between Amazon and eBay. Both companies offer the same thing, but the former is known for its quality and quick turnaround, while the latter one is known for its drastically cheaper alternatives. Number 2 tip is SEO optimization or search engine optimization. This one is quite simple yet complicated in very many ways. If your website is appearing higher up on the SERPs, by default, you're more likely to lead a greater amount of traffic onto your page. But SEO is a tricky mistress. There are many factors to consider, such as relevant keywords on the landing pages. Unfortunately, there's no viable shortcut here. If you try to work your way around it, unqualified traffic may seep through and you'll be left with less than pleasant outcomes. Number 3 tip is user experience. What happens when you get a prospect onto your website? If you want them to complete a desired action, like making a purchase or viewing specific content, you'll need to make sure a few things are in place. Number 1, a relevant landing page. If the user clicked onto a pair of red heels, ideally you'd want the landing page to display those red heels with additional information or a size chart, as well as a clear call to action that leads the user to put those pair of high heels into their checkout cart. Number 2 is clear brand and selling point. This comes in the form of aesthetics and written content. The images on your page, as well as the headings and content that make up the page, need to be relevant to your company's brand. Number 3 is site navigation. Don't confuse the users here. Create a site navigation map that makes roaming the pages entirely intuitive. Also, the checkout process. This goes hand in hand with website navigation. Making sure that checking out a cart is straightforward will lead the user to completing that purchase. Also, website speed. Making sure you've optimized your website speed is a crucial component of a website management. If your page takes too long to load, you risk losing that potential sale. And lastly, you want a responsive web design. Be certain that your web page can easily be accessed through via laptop, phone, tablet, and any other gadget. If your website falls apart or looks broken, you risk losing credibility and a customer. These are just some of the factors to consider when optimizing your user experience. Number 4 tip is transparency. Another important facet to e-commerce success is transparency. By doing so, you allow customers and prospects an opportunity to see how trustworthy of a business you are. There are several ways to be transparent, but the following are the top 3. Number 1 is contact information. On an online platform, building confidence isn't an easy feat. By adding a page or a section on your webpage dedicated to contacting you, you create accountability. Number 2, be detailed. Users will not be able to physically see the product or hold it. That's why it's so imperative you provide as much information as you possibly can about the product. For example, take photos from different angles of all colors and sizes available, and offer specs in addition to the product details. Lastly, to be transparent, be upfront. If you charge for shipping and handling, let the user know beforehand. Hidden charges will only destroy your business before it even begins. Number 5 tip is engagement. This one here is a no-brainer. Engagement increases likability and gets people talking about your business. There are several ways to engage with your customers and prospects. Here are 4. On social media. If you're just starting out, social media allows for both paid and organic promotion. Outlets like Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, LinkedIn are all excellent platforms to use. Just be sure to use only the ones most relevant to your business type. Blogging. Talk about your business, spark a debate about something within your industry, or share useful information. The best thing about these blogs is that not only they can be added to your website, they can be also shared on social media as well as other platforms. If the topic you're discussing is on trend, it will garner more awareness, potentially resulting in more traffic. Also, community building. Once you have a customer base, invest in building forums or community sections on your webpage. The more your customers interact, the more business you expose yourself to. Another way to do this is by creating exclusive, non-generic hashtags, like your business name, for example. Lastly, to build engagement, you can host events or contests. If your customers have some sort of stake in what you're doing, they're more likely to engage in return. Hosting events, have offer giveaways, or conducting online contests will bring in interest from existing customers and prospects alike. And number 6 tip is customer service. You could do everything we mentioned above and still fail if you do not master customer service. Supporting your customers and taking care of their needs and requirements pertaining to your business is a vital component of your e-commerce website success. Otherwise, you risk damaging your reputation, and it takes too long to regain lost trust. Adding elements like a live chat box or FAQ section or a 24-hour response to complaints will do wonders for your business. In conclusion, beyond following the 6 steps we just submitted to you, you'll need to execute your website with tact if you haven't already. First off, don't rush into launching your website without making sure your website layout, user experience, brand, SEO, and social media accounts are on point. Once you do a launch, on the other hand, make sure to also collect information through analytics and analyze everything. This may help you conduct tests like A/B testing, so you are continuously optimizing. This is particularly important because as time goes on, trends change, upgrades become a necessity, and evolution becomes the only constant. While we've only covered a fraction of what e-commerce success entails, following these steps will help you get started on becoming a champion e-commerce seller with a remarkable website. If you're still unsure or want to avoid the steps and the work altogether while still getting the results, your best bet is hiring e-commerce experts like us that know how to work and manage e-commerce websites. Give us a call at Gilmedia here at 647-478-5858 today and allow us to make sure your e-commerce website is a success. Thank you for listening to another Gilmedia podcast.